everybody, it's Connie with the Artisan Company. Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to do a project that I don't normally do on YouTube just because it's harder to see what I'm doing because it's small, and that's earrings. So I don't know if y'all remember or not that Owyhee blue opal necklace I did a week or two ago. I don't know if you remember that or not, but I had just enough stones left that I decided that I'm not going to let them go to waste. I'm going to do some earrings. So I had to put my brain on it because the necklace was just so beautiful and so sparkly and kind of full of water. It had a watery, sparkly look to it. And the earrings needed to be the same to me. So I put my brain on it, and let's go see what we're going to do today. Come on. All right. So I'm going to show you where we're going. You can kind of see I've already done one, so you can see what the finished product's going to look like. And hopefully you can see that right there. We have a loop with the cut glass on it and a little bit of silver and the Owyhee stones. And so that's kind of what it's going to look like where we're going. Isn't that pretty? Oh my goodness. I'll set it over here so I'll make sure I remember my own example. Okay, so this is what you're going to need real quick. Obviously, you're going to need maybe all of these tools right here, something to cut your wire, a crimper, something to help with your jump rings, unless you have that jump ring thing that goes in your finger and you twist it like that. But anyway, all of these tools would be great to have those available if you can. I'll move them out of the way here. All right, so the next thing you're going to need is one of these little guys right here to help hold your wire. You will need a piece of soft flex or AccuFlex fine wire, fine. And this little piece I've got right here is, let's look here. It's 8 inches long. This little piece of wire is 8 inches long. You'll need 2 of those pieces. You need a little tiny pin just in case you can't get your wire pulled out of one of the pieces of glass. I've got a pretty fat needle here, and that is to help me to make my loops all the same size when I'm doing the crimp, and you'll see that as I'm going. I always tell you, I don't always do things the normal or maybe the most efficient way, but I do what works for me, and that's all that counts, and you do what works for you. Okay, I've got my Owyhee stones here, and you can use whatever stones you want to, but I'm using these, and I tried to put it together where I have the thickest one in the middle and the 2 thinner ones on the outside. So, but you can use any stone. I just happen to have these left. And then you'll need 4 pieces actually of some kind of beautiful faceted cut glass. I recommend Czechoslovakian cut glass over anything else because it's just so faceted. Kind of like Swarovski crystal is one of the top crystals because of the facets. Same with the Czech glass. You'll need 4 of these, 2 for each pair. I've got a smaller grouping of cut glass here, and I have let me see here, so 14. You'll need probably 14 for each earring, so 28 total. Let's see here, and you can see these are very, very faceted, and these have kind of a vitral finish on it, so they're not just clear. These do have a little bit of a finish on them, but you can do whatever you like. I just happen to have these, and they look beautiful with the stone. So I've got those. You'll need some bead caps, about a 4mm bead cap. You'll need some of those. And then I've got the two, which you'll need four for the earring set. These little bead caps are so tiny, if you blink, you'll miss them. They're tiny. You'll need four of those. Okay, and you'll need some jump rings. You'll need at least 6 or 8 of this size jump ring. You'll need at least 2 or 4 of these little tiny babies, and you'll need 2 of these bigger ones right here. So, you know, you're looking at maybe a 3-4 millimeter, maybe a 5-6 millimeter, and maybe an 8. I'll tell you here in just a second. Here we go. Let's look at this, because I don't remember off my package. The bigger ring is a 10 millimeter. This one, the big one, is a 10 millimeter. This little bitty one right here is 5. I was right on that one. 5. And so the little bitty one, itty bitty one, if I can pick it up, it's probably a 2 or 3 millimeter. So it's a 3. So there's your sizes: 10, 5, and 3. Okay, then you will need a couple of crimp covers. You'll need 4 crimp covers and 4 crimps. So you'll need at least that many. You may have a little extras in case something goes awry with what you're doing, because that happens quite often with me. You will need also, this is an ice pick bail. I'm going to do it like this so you can see it a little better. It's an ice pick bail, and this one doesn't have the loop on the top. It's just your plain pick bail right there, and you squeeze it together like that to the width that you need it to be. Okay, this one is a, just so you will know, it's a 10 millimeter. This ice pick bail is, and you can see how I've already put it on this particular piece of glass right here on the sides. This is what this is right here, and I crimped it into my piece of glass. And then you'll need 2 decorative pieces of glass for your centerpiece, and then obviously some ear wires of your choice. I use surgical steel a lot for multiple reasons, but this is just your standard ball and coil. You can use whatever you would like. All right, so I think we're ready to go. So let me get my thoughts together, and I'll be right back. Okay, got my thoughts together. So the first thing we are going to do is take the decorative piece of glass, and this one's the one that's going to be hanging in the middle of my earring, and go ahead and put your bail on it. And like I said, when you put that on there, we'll slide the little pick ends, these little pick ends right here. You'll slide one on one side of the hole on your piece like this, and then slide the other one in, and take a tool and very, very gently push it together, just like that. Just very gently, just close it in on your piece of glass. Very, very gently, just close it in. Don't do it hard, because you'll break the glass or whatever bead you've got going right there. So just do it very gently. All right. Then you're going to add the 2 jump rings to that piece. And I'm going to open this up a little bit more. And I'm going to add this onto the jump ring like so. And then the itty bitty 3 millimeter jump ring, it goes on there too. And then we're going to close that up. I need my magnifying glass down here because my eyeballs can't see it. All right, so we've got that closed up, and it should look like this. It should look like that right there. You should have the two jump rings on there connected to the piece of glass. Set that over to the side. All right, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to take our piece of beading wire like so, and we're going to do the crimp on one end. Since we know what the design is going to be, I'm going to go ahead and crimp the one end. So I'm putting my crimp on. I'm looping it back through, the wire back through, like so. Pulling it up, and here's where my little needle comes in handy. So what this does is it helps me to make the same size loop on both sides. I am sure there are tools doing that, but this is how I do it. Anyway, I pull the crimp all the way up to the needle, and you can see that it made a perfect little loop. I'm going to take my crimper and I'm going to mash it, and then I'm going to fold it. Mash it and fold it. All right. So if you don't mash it and fold it, it'll come undone. Just bottom line, that's what happens. All right, so what I'm going to do now, since I know what the design is going to be, I'm going to take a little bit of the excess wire off right there and just have a little bit to run back through the beads. I'm going to put my crimp cover on. Gotta love your crimp covers. I'm going to put the crimp cover on. Mash it down very gently. Doesn't take much because they're designed to close very easily. So take your time, be real gentle with it, and remember you want to make sure that you don't have any ends that are bucked up. It needs to be smooth. All right, so I've got that, and let me see here. I'm going to put this jump ring on the end right there, because that is where it's going to be connected to the larger jump ring that will connect to the ear wire. Let me open this up. Okay, got that on there. I'll gently close it up. Make sure both ends are meeting correctly. So it looks like that. Okay. All right, so here we go. I am going to start beading now. So since I already know the pattern, I'm starting from one end and working to the other end. I'm putting a crimp cover on first so that the end next to the finishing bead will look finished. And it's so tiny. Keep dropping it. Oh, goodness. All right, so I'm going to slide it down there, and then I'm going to work it, the excess little piece of wire that I had left over, I'm working it through the bead cap right now, trying to get it flush, where the cap is flush to the finishing bead. Okay. Now I'm going to start adding my glass beads. This process is pretty easy since it's, I need my magnifying glass down here so I can see better. I always need a magnifying glass. But this beading process right here is pretty easy. No worries with that. Just takes a little time, that's all. Okay, so I've got those on there. Alrighty, so this is what it's beginning to look like. And what I'm doing now is I'm taking my glass beads and I'm working them down over that last little piece of wire I had there. So I've got it all pushed down to the bottom. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do here is add a few more of the, I'm sorry, I'm adding a bead cap. And then I'm going to add a piece of the Owyhee Opal and another bead cap. And that's what that looks like right there. And what I'm doing is accenting that piece of opal with the bead caps, just the what I call a little sliver of light right there. And there we go. I'm adding a piece of glass in here. Yep, because I'm dividing out the pieces of opal so they're not all stacked on top of each other. Putting on another bead cap. Another little piece of opal, another bead cap, and then another glass bead to divide the last two pieces. Another bead cap. We got to flank that last piece of opal. And these opal beads are stunning. Oh my goodness, they're beautiful. The color is just amazing. All right, so here's where we are right here. We're getting ready to work our way up the other side. Aren't they beautiful? Look how the color and light play off of that. All right, so let's get some of these glass beads going here and finish up on the end. These earrings turned out absolutely beautiful. They were so sparkly. Oh my. The necklace, the Owyhee Opal necklace that I did a few weeks ago, the pictures didn't do it justice. It was just so sparkly. Okay, so here we are. We're down to the bottom and you can see the pattern there. So I'm getting ready to add my crimp on here. Oh, wait, my bead cap. And then my crimp. I'm getting ahead of myself. That's what I get for having to do a voiceover for this stuff. I was trying to remember what the heck I said. Anyway, oh my goodness. All right, so we're going to put on the crimp and the crimp cover, and then we'll add the jump rings. So let me find what I need. There's my crimp. I'm going to run the wire back through it, pull it down, get my little needle so I can make the exact same size loop as I had on the other side. And I'm pulling that crimp all the way up to the needle, taking that out, and it makes the exact same size loop. Gonna mash it on one side, fold it over. Gotta mash and fold on those crimps. Okay, and then I have a little excess wire left over here, so I'm gonna cut some of that off just like I did on the other side. All right, I'm gonna clip that off right there. And then I'm going to work, if I can get the right tool, I'm going to work this last little piece of wire back through the beads. And the hardest part really and truly is getting it through that little bead cap because the hole is much smaller than the glass beads. So this kind of takes a little bit of time. I think think I said in one of the other videos, the finish off is usually the most tedious thing to do. Let me work on it here just a second. It's trying to go through there. Up, there it went. Okay, so I have a little left sticking out, and I'm going to continue to try to work that through if I can. If I can't, I will clip it right there. I'm just going to clip it. I'm going to clip it just as close to the bead as I possibly can because I don't want anything sticking out. Okay. So what the little end of it that's remaining, I'm going to work it down into the next glass bead. Get in there, baby, get in there. Okay. So here's where we are. You can see that this is the full beaded part of it. So now I'm going to go back on this end and I'm going to put my crimp cover on this end, like so. I keep laying my tools down in the wrong places. It's like, oh my gosh. Get it together, Shaw. Some days I lay them down places and I'm like, what was I thinking? All right, let me try to get this little cover closed. Very gently and carefully close it. I always say that. I know you probably get tired of me saying it, but gentle, gentle. All right, there's that end. And here goes our jump ring going on that end right there. And this is what's going to be connected to the whole entire earring. Close her up. All right, what we're doing now is we're adding all the pieces together. We got our ear wire and then this beautiful centerpiece that we did earlier. This is gorgeous, guys. It's diamond shaped, it's faceted, it's just yummy. I love it. It's sparkly. Okay, your jump ring right here is what is going to connect all of this together into one piece. So I'm adding the first end onto the big jump ring. Then I'm adding the centerpiece because this is what's going to kind of dangle in the middle. So you want to add that next. Then you add the other end of the jump ring to it. Okay, now here's a trick. I'm going to hold this right here so you can see it. Hopefully you can see it. But sometimes you may have a jump ring once you put it on there that looks like that it's not quite laying flat, and this one's not right here. It kind of looks like it's tilting or folding out Take it off and flip it the other way. And let me get this on here. And flip it the other side. And there it is right there. It's laying flat like the other side now. So I can close my jump ring up. Whoops, wait a minute, wait. Got to do my ear wire. So that instead of opening that up, I'm just going to add it to what's already open on this jump ring. Close up the jump ring. Make sure your ends are even. All right, we are done with this project. Oh my goodness, y'all, look at this. Is this not beautiful? It is just as sparkly as the necklace. I am loving it. Let me put it on this little stand right here so you can see them both together. You can purchase this at theartisancompany.com along with the Owyhee Opal necklace that I did a couple of weeks ago. Beautiful set this would make. Oh my goodness, if you like sparkle and light colors and just kind of ethereal colors, this is it for you. So guys, I'm excited this project is done. I will see you guys on the next one. Bye.